Never dreamed anything like that.
Dozens of uninsured storm victims get a lift they didn't see coming, and it's part of the biggest rebuilding commitment yet. Plus, tracking your generosity, how much of your money and donations is actually going to local victims.
Record highs are in the extended forecast. I actually have 5 records over the next 7 days. I'll talk about when to expect those coming up next.
This is what we dreamed about, was hosting the NCAA, one of the events that we would hold in the Yum Center, and so now it's here and it's happening.
And the Yum Center's crazy tournament windfall downtown, how much it could boost business. Beach bums are evacuated from the water when sharks go crazy, which is causing these predators to lash out. Plus, nearly 2 months after longtime Penn State coach Joe Paterno dies of lung cancer, school leaders are now revealing the official reason for his firing and for the way they did it.
Oh, and it's about to get a lot warmer. There's 80-degree temperatures in the forecast and 5 warm records over the next 7 days. I'll talk about when to expect this coming up next.
John Calipari and Bill Self talk about their rabid fan bases in just a short time. I'm Tom Lane. That's coming up live from New Orleans.
I would like to think that the cops are going to try and settle it down, but they won't. I don't think they will.
Police announce a revamped plan to keep UK basketball revelers under control, but Lexington residents don't seem convinced.
The walls inside this iconic shot of a bus into a building in Henryville are talking, and it's some of the most dramatic video yet of the March 2nd tornadoes.
Some thunderstorms are possible here for the next couple of days, and I'm going to talk about whether any of these could be severe coming up next.
And disgraced Metro Councilwoman Judy Green taking a grilling again, this time from a patient. A funeral is held for a soldier being hailed as a hero for what he did in Afghanistan, but not in combat.
Dennis would have done anything for anybody.
The soldier's brave sacrifice that saved the life of a little girl. And a JetBlue pilot who's accused of screaming about terrorists in the middle of a flight makes his first appearance in court. How long he could spend behind bars if he's convicted.
Rain showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast the next 3 days, and it's going to get a lot warmer and more humid. I'll detail whether that means we could see any severe weather coming up next. Scattered thunderstorms remain a part of our forecast, but things are really going to warm. I'm going to talk about when you're going to see 85 degrees coming up next.
Also tonight, nearly 2 weeks after devastating tornadoes, a local business is finding booming success several feet down. Plus,
I've enjoyed the city. It's bigger than I thought it was.
Welcome to Louisville. The Yum Center got them here. What else the city is offering that may bring basketball fans back for more?
And the real-life version of Angry Birds caught on camera.
Disgraced Governor Rod Blagojevich leaves Chicago for prison.
Saying goodbye is the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
The unusual stop he made before making his way to federal prison. And the U.S. is battling some setbacks for its exit strategy in Afghanistan. How soon? President Hamid Karzai says he wants Afghan troops leading nationwide security.
Knocked her maybe even as far as 50 feet. And she's fortunate to be alive.
Police say a driver high on drugs hit a popular teacher while she was walking down the street. But wait until you hear who this mom had with her.
Plus, the power of the Henryville tornado felt nearly 200 miles away.
Much colder temperatures moving into the area. I've got lows in the 40s 4 times over the next 7 days, and I'll tell you when coming up next.
They only touch on it in training. It's just so uncommon.
And the baby born up in the air thanks to an incredible flight staff and instructions soaked in vodka. Mitt Romney appears to be making a pivot to a general election campaign after a big sweep.
Thank you to Wisconsin, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. We won them all.
Romney may still have Republican rivals in the race, but he's shifting his focus elsewhere. And the charges for a man who went on a deadly shooting spree at a California university.
Temperatures in the 30s? It doesn't seem possible this spring. It's actually in the forecast numerous times. I'll talk about when you're going to see some chilly nighttime lows coming up.
Is she bleeding or breathing at all?
I don't know.
What's her address, sweetie? What's her address?
A 10-year-old's dramatic call for help and a new theory in what may have prompted the shooting of his mom and sister.
It was disgusting. I think, cops shouldn't be allowed to do that, and somebody's got to be accountable.
A Louisville police officer taken off the streets. See the viewer video that prompted it.
He actually had some maggots in the lesions that were really raw.
Plus, sign of the times, a dog's neglect puts a face on a growing problem.
You could see a freeze in your area a couple of times here in the next few days, and I'm going to talk about when to expect that coming up next.
A quick-thinking student helps to avert a school bus disaster.
Scary and exhilarating.
Because?
Because, you want to know if he's okay, but then again, it's just happening so fast, your heart's pumping. It's breathtaking and breath-giving.
The teen jumps into action when he notices his bus driver passed out at the wheel. And the Republican presidential field is a little smaller tonight as Rick Santorum announces he's dropping out of the race, but he's not done fighting yet.
There's a couple of opportunities for freezes over the next couple of days, but 80s are actually still in the forecast. I'll talk about when you can expect a warm-up coming up.
Come back to my baby shot up, dead.
A mother's horrific discovery, her teen son murdered. Tonight, her initial suspicion about what happened.
Plus, a dramatic turn of events in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin, all within the last 30 minutes.
All I could do was get me and my grandson out, and that's it.
Also, a baby among several hospitalized after a fast-burning apartment fire, why residents say they were in danger from the beginning.
There is a freeze warning in effect for the overnight hours, but things are going to warm up. I'll talk about when to expect 80 degrees coming up next.
Charges are filed for the volunteer watchman who admitted to fatally shooting 17-year-old Trayvon Martin.
I can tell you we did not come to this decision lightly. This case is like a lot of the difficult cases we have handled for years here in our circuit.
George Zimmerman claims he shot the teen in self-defense. Now he'll face a judge. And with Rick Santorum now out of the presidential race, Mitt Romney is pressing forward, and now he's going straight for President Barack Obama.
I think by now you probably know we're likely to see a freeze during the overnight hours, but did you know there's 80 degrees in the forecast? I'll tell you when to expect that coming up next.